While we're talking of prayer, a very funny incident happened in my life. I called it funny because I was a small boy, I was a small child who was learning at the lotus feet of Lord. I haven't spoken much about this episode, but since I thought we are staying in a family and it might be of some help to all of us, I thought I'll share it with you. After passing my BCom, there was a gap in between before I could join MCom. Admissions for MCom had taken place and my admission had not really taken place for some technical reasons. I was staying in Prashanti Nilayam, attending bhajans and singing bhajans morning and evening, having great darshans and enjoying life, not going to college, not going to hostel, because the hostel boys could have darshans only in the evening, whereas I was having darshans morning and afternoon, and it was great fun to be in Swami's eyes every day. So one fine day, Swami decided that he has to teach me a lesson on something. He stopped talking to me. Now all those of us who have been ardent devotees of Bhagwan, we all know what a painful experience it is that when Swami comes and refuses to recognize you, he sees through you, he talks to the person next to you, in your side, on this side, around you, he doesn't recognize you, doesn't look at you, he doesn't talk to you, he'll ask all questions to everyone around you, about you also, but will not look at you. And what was that? That is a time when one needs to go into self-introspection, Atmanirikshan. One has to go and understand, why is Swami putting me into this treatment? Why is Bhagwan not talking to me? So it so happened, that was that phase, that after a month or so, I was sitting there singing bhajans, but Swami had stopped talking to me. And I was trying my level best to draw Swami's attention, asking myself, where am I going wrong? What am I doing wrong? Why is Bhagavan not responding to me? Why is Bhagavan not talking to me? So I would keep on trying to say, but Swami thought I was invisible. He would look through me. Even if I sit in the front row, he would not talk to the boy sitting with me, lest he comes closer to me and I might take his pad namaskar. He was avoiding me purposely. And I kept on praying for Bhagavan. I kept on praying, but Swami would not respond. Then one morning, Swami announced that this afternoon we have started a school in Bukkapatnam, a school, and I would want some hand-picked boys to come upstairs in the afternoon. We will take some dresses, some clothes, some books, some stationery, and we would give to all the children in that village school, which was started by Central Trust way back in 1983, I think. It was Bukkapatnam. And then Swami again went around picking up boys. Yes, you come, you come, you come, you come. And I was sitting and I kept on praying to Swami. Swami, I had stretched my neck. I would change my position that Swami would notice me. But Swami refused to notice me. And he took about 15 boys and my name was not there. And in fact, that idea of Swami calling you upstairs in the afternoon in his sanctum sanctorum, that place where Swami lives, I mean, imagine what kind of luck you should have to go up there and Swami would be sitting and Swami would be directing, put this bundle here, put this bundle there. And not that there used to be big work, it is just that Swami used to give an opportunity to share that bliss and that joy of being in his closeness. So that morning when the bhajans got over, I was so crestfallen, I was so dejected, I was so hurt. I kept on saying, Swami, what is this? This is not done. How can you do this? I'm trying to do my best in whatever way I can please you. You're not talking to me. You're not looking at me. You're not doing anything. Swami, please respond. Please respond. Please respond. And then I was reminded of something. We had done a play on the life of Paramhamsa Ramakrishna there. And Swami had told me personally, do you know how you must crave for God? When those direction sessions used to be on, Swami used to be sitting on the chair and he used to tell us. There was one scene wherein I was the Ramakrishna Paramhamsa, so I had to pray to Mother Kali and cry out that, Ma, why don't you reveal yourself to me? Why don't you give darshans? There are other devotees whom you gave darshans, but why haven't you given darshans to me? So I have to plead my heart. But Swami said, no, not acting. You must feel that pain in your heart. You know how much that pain should emerge? As if you have been separated, something has been taken away. I still could not probably come up to Bhagwan's expectations. I said, Swami, how do we feel that pain? Then Swami gave an example. He made us sit down and all the boys were there and Swami said, one day Ramakrishna Paramhamsa was talking the same thing to Swami Vivekananda, and Vivekananda asked this question, that how should we miss God in our lives? See, when our child goes away, do we miss the child? We miss our children when they go away for studies or when you get them married. When a daughter is getting married, invariably we have tears in our eyes. Don't we miss our loved ones? But do we miss God? Do we ever cry for God? So we said, no Swami, we don't really cry for God. He said, you must cry for God. And you know what did Ramakrishna Paramham say? He said, your pain should be like when a child is born to a mother. After the mother has breastfeeded the child for 3 or 4 days, the child is taken away from the mother. How would the mother miss that child? How she would pray to God to get the child back? This is how it must pain in your heart. And let's say, coming home closer to the boys, he said, if you get married and after 2 days of marriage, the wife goes away to her mother's place, how would you miss your wife? You must miss your God like that. That is the kind of pain it must cause in your heart. So I heard all that and I realized, I said, Swami, I think you are testing me. I'm missing you, sure enough, but that pain is not there. And I must create that thing, and Swami, you have to do something. And trust me, I was crestfallen, I was broken. I felt my whole life has come to an end without Bhagwan not talking to me. At that time, you were a small child, not understanding that this is one way of Swami's style of giving you maturity, making you understand, also revealing himself. I kept on crying. After the bhajan got over, without speaking a word, I went inside my room, I closed my door, I took off my shirt, in my pants, on my vest, I sat down on my bed and I wept like a child. I said, why Bhagwan, why? आप मुझसे बात क्यों नहीं कर रहे? क्या कमी है मुझ में? मुझे क्यों नहीं बुला रहे? मुझ में क्या कमी है? मुझे ठीक करो ना भगवान अगर मुझ में कोई कमी है. And before long I realized I was crying for Bhagwan like a baby would do, and I was rolling on the floor, not realizing. And I said, Swami, you had told me that if I cry like Ramakrishna Paramhamsa, you will come yourself. But Swami, if you don't come today, that means whatever you have told is wrong, and everything which I have heard is wrong, because today I cannot miss anybody else in my life. And if you don't come and knock at my door right away and right now, Swami, I'm willing to even give my life for you, but I want you, Swami. And I wanted Swami so bad. I was crying with tears flowing through my eyes. I was like a mad man, literally like a mad person. And suddenly there was a knock on my door. Oh my God, I said, Bhagwan has come. But I said, Swami is gone upstairs. How can Swami come now? I immediately wiped my tears. I wore the shirt, and it took me 5 minutes to, kind of come back to normalcy. And I opened the door, and there I find Mr. Chiranjeev Rao standing there. What a anticlimax if you look at it. I expected Bhagwan to be there. Trust me, I thought it is Bhagwan. And I saw Chiranjeev Rao standing there. And he said, are you Tribhuvan Sachdeva? I said, yes, sir. Is everything okay with you? Because he saw my eyes were bloodshot. I was still crying, and I was looking like a mad person with my hair. Probably that time I had hair, okay? So my hair were all disheveled and all that kind of a position. So I said, yes, sir, I'm okay. He said, I don't know, Swami was giving instructions to me on that village. Suddenly he told me, you rush immediately, you go. That old hostel is there, that one boy, that Tribhuvan Sachdeva will be there. Just tell him that 1:30 or 2 o'clock, be ready and he should come upstairs to Swami's room. I forgot to tell him, so he's there in the room waiting for that call. So he said, Swami, I will go on my way and tell, no, I will give you instructions later, you go now. Swami literally threw him out of there, and Chiranjeev Rao came and he knocked at my door, and when I opened, I find him there, and he said, I hope everything is okay with you, because Swami sent me very urgently. So I again started crying. Then what is this, Swami? I cried for you, you actually sent. And then I looked at him, so he thought this was the Pichivadu, this was a gone case. So not really wanting to comment, he was a man of few words in any case. He turned back and left. Now I closed the door, and again I started crying. Now there were tears of gratitude in my eyes. I was saying, Swami, all what you told was right. All what you said was correct. For the first time in my life, I wept for you, Swami. I craved for you, and I said, Swami, if you are really God, you will come today. Swami, you did not come, but you sent your messenger, and you told me, you made me understand that, Swami, my prayers are reaching you, and if it is hurting me in my heart, it is hurting you because you made him leave everything and come. And while I was thanking Swami, and tears were still flowing out of my eyes, again there was a knock. I said, now who is this? This time I opened, there was Engineer Jai Kumar standing there. Now he said, I don't know, Chiranjeev Rao came back and Swami asked him instantly, did you give the message? He said, yes Swami, I gave the message. What did Tribhuvan have to say? He just said, Swami, he will come. Okay. And after giving few instructions to Chiranjeev Rao, he again told me, hey, you go man, you go. He's still there in the room waiting for a call. Go and tell him everything is fine. Swami is calling him in the afternoon. Don't worry, ask him to say everything is fine. Just go and tell. He again came and told me, Swami is telling everything is fine, don't worry. And then he asked me, is everything all right? Is there a problem in the family? I said, no. He saw me crying and he was wondering that this guy seemed to be a sane guy. Why is he crying like a baby here? And Swami is so concerned. He's sending again one after the other. Then I said, okay. And that day, I realized that all what Bhagwan says has a meaning. He says, you take one step towards me, I take 10 steps towards you. That was the day it struck me. कि भगवान को पटाना कितना आसान है. You have to crave for him. You have to pray for him. You have to literally ask for him and him alone. And when you do that, he comes running like he did for Sudama, like he did for his devotees, like he did for Draupadi, like he did for Arjun, like he did for everyone. And that afternoon, with a lot of guilt in my heart, I wore my best white shirt, my best white pant, and I went there and I was happily putting clothes here, there, making stacks. Suddenly I find 2 small little feet coming onto me and that orange robe right in front of my eyes. And I was not lifting my head up because I was guilty that Swami cried so much and troubled you so much and you had to send 2 of the messengers. And Swami looked at me with his hands folded back in that pose of his and he just said, And I just looked up Swami not knowing what to say. He said, hysteria. That is what he said, hysteria, full hysteria. Then I just looked at Swami and he said, love, not hysteria. Oh, I understood what Swami meant. No one understood what was there. Someone said, did you write a letter to Swami? Did you say something? Now how could I say that I behaved foolishly like Ramakrishna did before his mother? I did before my Sai mother. I cried for him. I prayed for him. I shouted for him. I was literally rolling down on the floor. What more can I ask from God? And then when he promised that whatever you ask, I'm going to give you. So this is what is the least, my dear brothers and sisters. We can go on and on. Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta. We can go on and on with the stories. Trust me, if you give me an opportunity, we can talk the whole night about his glories, about his miracles, about his blessings, about all the lovely time we have had. Words would fall short, time would fall short, but we would not get tired listening to his glory.